during World War II and the Battle of the Bulge. First question. How would you describe the weather during the Battle of the Bulge?
Cold. I can't remember the actual day it was, except I do remember that it was cold. And, that's about all I could do, just say it was cold and
Is it snowy or?
snowy. Yeah, it snowed a little bit, not much.
Yeah.
It's about like it is today.
Yeah. Alright, second question. What was your role during the Battle of the Bulge?
I don't quite.
Like, what'd you do?
What did I do?
Yeah.
I was sergeant. I was over about 15 or 20 men. And I directed the fire and shooting, and there was really was nothing that I can explain, except that that we was in the bulge, and we was moving forward. There was three armies, and we was on the left flank, and then another army in the middle. I mean, it was all American troops, but separate, different. Well, it was mostly different. It's hard to say exactly what happened, except that we did have quite a battle. But after we started moving, everything went smooth toward moving forward. And it's hard to explain really what we did do.
Like, were you on like a mission or?
No, I wasn't. I was directing a group of men. We had
but that way you wouldn't have to get your car out either. Right?
40 millimeter.
It's up to you. You decide. Don bought you a present, huh?
But I directed my men to do what they was supposed to be doing.
Just look at it.
Yeah.
We actually was just moving forward with the group of others. This was these three armies together. We went into. Actually, there was nothing that we was doing because the enemy wasn't firing back. We were just pushing.
Yeah.
We were just pushing through and pushing our way through. But there was really nothing that was outstanding yet to me. The weather was cold, and we just kept moving forward. And
do you see why he got you now?
Really, it's hard to say directly what we did do, what kind of a battle we done, because it was just three armies, actually all American army. I don't know of anything else that actually would indicate anything of what we done, or it's been so long ago that it was way long ago.
Alright, next question. What was your most memorable moment from the battle?
Battle of the Bulge.
Yeah. Yeah.
we didn't have any, we was just moving forward and there was nothing memorable about it, really. We moved forward as the Germans weren't fighting back. They was running, actually running away from us, or moving away from us.
Well, how about during the whole war you were in? What was your most memorable moment during the whole time you served?
Well, I don't, I guess it was actually on the way over, and during the war, the most memorable was when we was in a convoy of several ships, and the submarines got into us, and we was the British. We was on a British ship, and they dropped our, I can't think what they call them now,
Depth charges?
huh?
Depth
Yeah,
charges?
well, it was kind of like depth charges, yeah. But we didn't have any really, it was scary because we know that there were submarines, and they did get submarines. They bombed them out. Otherwise, we could have been sunk right there. And on the way over, we hadn't even got into the war yet. We just leaving.
Yep.
They were in the country.
Good.
All right. Next question. How did you feel when the Germans struck an attack on Christmas? How did you feel when the Germans struck an attack on Christmas Day?
I wasn't on Christmas Day. I was in England. I wasn't in the war yet.
Yeah. Well, how about the first time, like when you were over there, when they first attacked?
His first attack when he was in the boats.
Oh yeah.
Well, that was the submarines that done that. But
Yeah.
but we had we was already, the American troops had already went across the English Channel and into France, and we really didn't have any battle. I mean, until, why isn't it like we was the point
Yeah.
of the people that was, or the soldiers that was going, and we didn't have anything.
Okay. Did you lose any men in your or your division or whatever?
Well, actually it was a battery, they called it. And this guy, Sapara, was a sergeant also, and we was behind sandbags on where we had rounded 40 millimeter anti-aircraft guns.
Yeah.
And he wanted to look around, see what was going on, and he stuck his head up above, looking around, and got a bullet right between his eyes. Killed him right there. But then there were other people who were killed, different. They in the same area, they had I can't think what they call them anymore, but they fire, the Germans came out, tanks, came out of the woods. It was across the Rhine River where we was there protecting our troops from being overtaken, and it came up there was a lieutenant and his driver and sergeant came up to visit to see how things were going with us. And when they was there, the tank came out from behind the woods across the other side of the river and started firing at us heavy. And I was lucky. I hit when they started to fire, I hit the ground. This guy, kind of a little ditch, and the guy fell right on top of me. And when the firing was over, I told the guy, I says, get off from me, help me up. He couldn't. He had shrapnel from the back of his head down to his tailbone, where he got killed. And he didn't say much after that. I mean, but then we had a pretty good skirmish there with the Germans, and they actually they fired on us a lot. I mean, we had a lot of action. We lost. There was at one time, I think there was the Jeep driver and an officer, and I hollered to the officer and a medic, and I hollered. He was headed for, when they started to fire, they was headed for the tree. It was up a little bit ways, and I didn't get them stopped in time. And the Germans, when they seen where they went, the Germans fired into the tree, and they get what they call a downburst. They hit the bottom, up about 10 feet in the tree, and then they would come down this way. And I think at that particular time, it was 7 or 8 of them killed. An officer, a Jeep driver, and I don't know who else, other people. And it was bad. I mean, I think that was, we lost more people there. We didn't lose anybody in the Battle of the Bulge. It's hard for me to remember too much, except that, people.
All right. Well, that concludes the review about basically World War II and the Battle of the Bulge. I'd like to thank my grandpa for sharing his time.
You're very welcome. It's sad for me to talk about the war. I very seldom ever talk to anybody about the war. It's too many things has happened. Too many people hurt, killed. It was some good times over there too, and there's some pretty girls over there. But the German girls, we didn't dare to talk to. But when we got into France, that was different. Those French girls liked to talk. That ought to kind of top things off.
The parting gift. Here's what if you want to live among those dirty, sneaky